everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ebony Anuforo, and I'm an immigration attorney located in New Jersey. However, I represent clients in all 50 states and around the world with immigration law matters. On this channel, I answer frequently asked immigration law questions, and I also share tips that helps individuals, couples, and families achieve their American dream and gain legal status in this country. Now, today, I will be answering some of your frequently asked immigration questions, VAWA edition. So these are some of the questions that I frequently get asked during consultations on this channel, on social media, via DMs, or sometimes even directly when I speak with people about this benefit. If you have any immigration questions that you would like me to answer on this channel, please feel free to reach out to me. I can be reached on social media platforms, all of them, here on YouTube, by phone, via text, and WhatsApp. I'd be more than happy to answer your frequently asked questions in a video. If you feel that you would like a more detailed analysis about a particular immigration matter, then feel free to also reach out and schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. Okay, so let's jump right into some of these questions that I get about VAWA. Now, the first question is, what is VAWA? Now, as much as I talk about VAWA, I still learn that so many people do not know what VAWA is, right? They don't know about this immigration benefit and how it can help them. Now, VAWA, which stands for the Violence Against Women Act, and while it does say women in its title, I say this all the time, it is not just for women. Men can also qualify for VAWA. It is an immigration benefit that allows the spouse or the child of either a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident green card holder to apply for their green card on their own as a self-petitioner. So if they can prove that they were abused, because it has to be based on abuse, right, or domestic violence. So if you can prove that you were abused or subjected to abuse or extreme cruelty by this family member, then you can apply for VAWA. VAWA is also available for parents who are the parent of a U.S. citizen child who is 21 years or older. Now, abuse can be physical abuse and it can be non-physical abuse as well. Now, this is a great benefit because it gives the victim of abuse some peace, right? And knowing that they still have options to get a green card and they will not have to be subjected to the abuse or any dangerous situation from this family member in order to get status in this country. All right, so that answers that question regarding what is VAWA. Another question that I get often is, will my family member know that I applied, right? And the answer is no. VAWA is a completely confidential process that your family member is not a part of. You know, like I mentioned before, it's a self-petition. So you will be applying for your own green card as your own petitioner, and your family member, whether it's your spouse, your parent, or your child, will not be involved in the process. If you are still living with your abuser, your family member, when applying for a VAWA, then you can use something known as a safe address, where all of your documents from USCIS can be sent to a different address that's not the address that you share with a loved one, your family member. That way, you know, letters or documents that you receive from the government will not be sent to your home and they will not know about it. Even if your family member suspects or they might think something's going on and they try to call USCIS, you know, they won't be able to get any information because by law, the USCIS officers and representatives are not allowed to disclose this information. So it's truly a confidential process. Another question that comes up a lot is, will I get my family member in trouble or will they go to jail or get arrested if I apply for VAWA? Now, this comes up a lot because in a lot of cases that we do handle, there is physical abuse, although it's not required and you can apply based on non-physical abuse. But there are times where people have been physically violent and family members are afraid that if they report it, that their loved ones will be arrested or get in trouble. So I just want to let you know and clear that up, that Filing a VAWA self-petition will not lead to your family member getting arrested or in trouble in some way. Unlike the U visa, which requires you to work with law enforcement to investigate the case, VAWA does not require that. In fact, VAWA doesn't even require you to file or submit a police report, which goes into another question that I get asked often is, do I need to file a police report in order to apply for VAWA? And the answer is no, a police report is not required. With VAWA, you can qualify again if you were abused and your abuse was physical or non-physical. So what does this mean? This means that emotional abuse or verbal abuse, financial abuse, any abuse that amounts to extreme cruelty will count towards applying for VAWA. Even threats of physical abuse would be a possible ground for applying for VAWA. Now, VAWA comes in so many different forms. Sometimes people are surprised during our consultations that when they find out that they have been treated by their family members in a certain way, and they find out that, wow, this was actually some serious abuse, and they didn't even realize it because they were either dealing with it for so long or maybe because of cultural backgrounds and cultural norms, that this type of behavior is considered okay. Sometimes based on cultural customs, it's frowned upon to even discuss or talk about certain types of abuse that happens. So to answer this question, no, a police report is not required to file a VAWA self-petition. If you are in situations that you fear for your life or you're afraid, for your safety, consider getting help, getting the help that you need. And if you need to call the police in order to save your life, then I recommend that you do so. So another question that comes up is, what types of evidence can I submit for my VAWA case? So the regulation requires that you have to submit any credible evidence, and that can be a number of things. You'll want to work with an immigration attorney who will evaluate your case and guide you on, and advise you on the type of evidence that will best support your case. There's not a checklist, that's specific and says, these are the documents that you must submit to prove evidence of abuse. No, because evidence is going to look different depending on the case. If you were physically abused and you call the police, then you might have a police report along with pictures of bruises. But if you were physically abused and you never called the police, then you won't have a police report, and that's okay, right? Maybe you have pictures, maybe you have witness statements, messages from your abuser showing a pattern of abuse. So evidence is going to look different on a case-by-case basis. For example, if you were financially abused, you might be able to show bank statements and messages from your abuser. Again, witness statements of people who have personal knowledge of the abuse. If you were emotionally abused, your evidence is going to look very different as well, right? For some emotional cases, oftentimes having and providing a psychological evaluation from an expert can be very helpful in showing how the emotional or psychological abuse affected you personally. Okay, so that is how it works with VAWA. There's no set amount of evidence that you need to provide. It's going to look different depending on the facts of your case. Now, another question that comes up often is, how long will VAWA take? How long is the process? And it really just depends. Now we're seeing that VAWA cases at the time of the recording of this video is taking about 24 months or even longer to be completed. So again, VAWA, yes, right now is a pretty long process. Another question that comes up during my consultations or when I meet with people is, can I work while my VAWA petition is pending? Now, the answer is yes, if you are eligible to adjust your status, which means that you can apply for your green card at the same time with the actual VAWA petition. So you would be, in those cases, submitting an I-485 application. And this is going to be for certain family members who are considered immediate relatives. So if you are the spouse or you're a child who's under 21 and a parent of a U.S. citizen, then you can apply for a VAWA and adjust your status at the same time. And by doing this, this allows you to also apply for temporary work authorization, your work permit. It allows you to get a social security card and a travel document. So while you're waiting for your VAWA application to be approved and your other documents get approved, your work permit, your travel document, and so forth, you will be able to work and support yourself while your application is pending. This is very helpful because, like I said earlier, VAWA applications are taking quite some time to be adjudicated. So this is helpful. If you do not qualify to apply for a work permit while you wait for the application to be pending, once the VAWA application is approved, at that point, you'll be able to apply for a work permit. Another question that I get a lot is, what if I do not have any evidence, right? Like I mentioned when I was answering the previous question regarding evidence, is that abuse comes in all different forms, many forms, right? Everyone's case is going to look different. So if you're concerned that you do not have any evidence, don't count yourself out. Consider still contacting an immigration attorney to do a case evaluation, because if you do not try, you miss out on possibly getting a green card, right? So you want to work with an attorney who will be able to advise you, who will be able to strategize with you on how you can use the evidence that you do have, right, to create a really strong VAWA petition. And the best evidence that I always say is your own personal statement, right? Your declaration, your own account of events is strong evidence. You're telling your story about what happened. You're giving your personal accounts of the abuse that happened to you, and you're being able to paint that picture to the person that's reviewing your case about what happened to you and how it affected you. So don't assume that you do not have any evidence. Work with an immigration attorney to learn how you can prepare a strong VAWA case with the evidence that you do have. Okay, well, that's all the questions that I'm going to be answering today. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you'd like to learn more about VAWA and whether you can apply for a VAWA self-petition, please feel free to contact my office. Our number is 201-565-0099, or you can click the link in the description to schedule a call with us online. If you have any questions that you want me to answer in a video, please go ahead and drop them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer them in a video. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Take care and God bless.